Hey guys, it's Luca from Learning MTGO, and today I wanted to go over a new deck that I've been playing in Modern. It's created by Xenowan, Xenowan. He got first place in a Modern challenge. So it's basically a Glimpse of Tomorrow deck. You cast Glimpse of Tomorrow by cascading into it. Sometimes you can suspend it. Usually you're just going to cascade into it. You got 3 Shardless Agent, 4 Violent Outburst, and an Ardent Plea to do that. And so before you end up doing that, you want to basically create as many permanents as possible. The easiest way to create permanents is to create tokens. So you have cards like Colony Garden, Chancellor of the Forge. You can reveal it in your opening hand. And Wave Sifter, also Seasoned Pyromancer, although it is slower, as ways to create tokens. And then basically every token you have in play, it turns into a card, which is super powerful. And a card that goes directly into play when you cast your Glimpse of Tomorrow. Sideboard, you have some one-ofs for Karns, because you're playing 4 Karns. Karn, it's interesting. It's not something you would think of, but it is pretty effective to hit it off of a Glimpse. I think Karn is the type of card that you kind of want to be able to play it, search for an artifact, and play the artifact in the same turn. So the way you can do that usually is like in a Tron deck, if you have a lot of mana. This deck can also do it because if you flip a Karn with your Glimpse and you have a couple lands in play, then you can go find something and play it immediately, like the Liquid Metal Coating. Or ideally, if you've got 3 mana left, you can go get a Shardless Agent, and then you can do it all over again, get another Glimpse. I've also found myself grabbing Ezekiel's Chariot in like a slower, grindier game. But Karn, oddly enough, just ends up being really sweet, surprising. Omnath is a lot more obvious. If you flip into an Omnath with Glimpse, then you're going to have multiple lands coming into play, triggering his ability multiple times, which gives you more mana, so you can hopefully do it all over again. Basically, the nature of the deck is you have lots of cards that create lots of tokens. So every time you Glimpse, you may turn 5 permanents into 10 permanents. You may turn 10 permanents into 20 permanents. So if you can double Glimpse in the same turn, you're going to easily win the game. Fury is just a fantastic card. Works really well with this deck because, Glimpse is kind of useless in your hand, and same with Chancellor, so it's easy to remove a red card. You can also play Fury, kill something with the trigger, and before it dies, you can Violent Outburst it. So then it counts as a permanent, while also getting some utility. It's also pretty good to flip into. I'll be right back. My cat wants to come in. But yeah, so that's basically the deck, and I'll go over some games that I played with this deck. I think I played a couple leagues with this deck so far, and I'll show the 5 games from my last league. So let's go to my game history. My cat's meowing. Sorry, buddy, I'm busy. Okay. So here's the last game I played. Let's start going through the games. So I don't remember what I'm playing. Okay, I'm playing against a Yorian deck. Oh, I'm playing against like a mono white prison type, like Death and Taxes type deck. So I started the game with Gemstone Caverns in play, so I get the advantage there. I removed a land. And yeah, so you just want to create tokens early on. So a Wave Sifter, create some tokens, pass a turn to my opponent. He doesn't have a second land, so he's pretty much in a lot of trouble here. So I could Violent Outburst right away, or I could try to wait to get more permanents in play, but it doesn't seem like based on my hand, I don't really have a plan to get more permanents in play, so it just makes sense to Violent Outburst right now. So this is a turn 2 Violent Outburst off of the Gemstone Caverns. So I'm going to get 5 permanents. Let's see what I get. I get a Shardless Agent, a Wade Sifter, a Chancellor. Not bad. So I basically got, on turn 2, a 3-3, a 3-2, or sorry, a 2-2, a 3-2, a 5-5, and 3 1-1s. And 2 clue tokens. Not bad. The tokens also get pumped by the Violent Outburst randomly, and I think my opponent scoops here. So, yeah, he just plays a Wall of Omens and scoops, I think. Oh no, he's not going to scoop. Okay. So Solitude's my Chancellor, so I'm just going to crack a clue and try to get another mana for another Violent Outburst. So here you can see the real power of Chancellor in this deck, because the tokens are really good with once you get a second Outburst. So I'm going to cast my Outburst. This time I have 4, 8, 9 permanents in play. If you've got like 9 permanents or more in play, it's pretty much going to be GG unless you get really bad flips. So let's see, what do I hit? I hit 2 Furies, a Pyromancer, a Chancellor, an Omnath, a Wave Sifter, and 3 lands. So I'm going to get 3 Omnath triggers, 2 clues, 8 damage from Furies, and I can discard 2 cards and draw 2, etc. And I'm going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, because I can trigger the Colony Garden first and get 7 1-1s. So he's going to scoop here. So, GG. And let's go to the next game. One of the things I would like to say about this deck is it's very reminiscent of Aetherworks Marvel. If anyone played Aetherworks Marvel when it was legal and standard, basically I would call it like a mid-range combo deck. So you have combo elements, you have a combo draw. As you saw, you can win the game like turn 2 or turn 3 if you get the perfect combination, but you can also play a grindy game if your opponent is like holding up counter magic or something. So now it's game 2, I play a Wave Sifter, and I've got basically the same thing going. I've got this Violent Outburst ready to go for turn 2. He plays a Thalia though, so that's like really good against me. I can't Shardless Agent or Violent Outburst because of the Thalia. Although maybe it would have just been smarter. Nah, it might have just been smarter to play the Shardless Agent just so I have a 2-2 in play. Maybe not though. It is nice to sometimes have 2 Cascaders in your hand so that if you cascade into mana, you can play another Cascade spell. So he's going to attack me with a Thalia. And I'm basically, okay, and he plays Archon of Emeria, and I'm in a lot of trouble now. Like this basically meant that I needed 1 more mana to combo off, but now that he's got the Archon, I need to kill it in order to have any chance of comboing. So I crack another clue, and yeah, I'm just screwed. This thing also makes it really hard to get mana in play. That's a very powerful card against Cascade strategy, for sure. And I believe I just lost this game, so I just lose to the beatdown and the Archon screwing me. He gets his Yorion, puts it in his hand, and I just concede. So, game 3. I'm on the play now. I have a Chancellor, so I reveal that. Attack for a 1. Plays Tectonic Edge. A Wave Sifter, attack for 1, so now I've got 5 permanents in play. Okay, so he's got this Hate guy. So I can't Cascade. So I have to deal with this guy, but luckily Karn can deal with problematic permanents. He Stoneforges for Kaldra. So now I just want to play Karn, and I just want to grab the... Oh no, I play Omnath instead of Karn. So my thinking here is Omnath is actually pretty strong on this board. It can race a Kaldra, because a Kaldra attacks for 5, but I gain 5 every turn, assuming I play a land every turn. And then it makes it easier for me to play a Karn and use it in the same turn. Okay, he's got a Solitude for my Omnath. I drew another Omnath with my Omnath. So at this point, I can actually grind him out. I can actually beat him possibly without comboing. So this time I'm going to play Karn and plus to basically kill his Germ token. And then I can chump block with my Goblin. So Goblin doing a lot of work here. And I think that's why I wanted to play Omnath first. Because if I played Karn first, maybe it would have died. No, that's not true. Okay, so I'm just going to chump the Kaldra here. He's going to Field of Ruin. I have one more basic land in my deck, so that works out. And yeah, so basically I want to eventually be able to Cascade for sure, but I can't Cascade as long as this is in play. So this guy could either kill with a Fury, or I could kill it with a Engineered Explosives. I can search for with Karn. I think I decided to kill it with a Fury here. So a Fury. Exile my Chancellor. Also kill this annoying S% now. And then I think I'm going to get Azeka's Chariot. Yeah. So this is a game that's like perfect for Azeka's Chariot. Also gives you 3 permanents in play for when you do want to Cascade. He's going to Skyclave my Chariot. Okay. I can just kill this. Gives me an extra token. And I think I made a mistake here. So here I just go for the Cascade because I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 permanents in play. But I think it actually would have been smarter to just, yeah, because I Cascade into garbage. Yeah. So it ended up like really punishing me. So I guess that's one lesson, is if you're playing the deck and you're like super far ahead, you just don't even need to risk it with Glimpse, even if it's only like a 5% chance you blow yourself out. So he plays Archon, but it's way too late and he's in a ton of trouble, and I can hardcast his Chancellor and kill him. So that was the first match. Let's go look at some of the other matches. Okay, looks like I won the die roll. Now this is a super slow hand because you don't have a Cascader, but you can like Colony Garden, turn 3 Seasoned Pyromancer. I could even turn 4 Omnath and play a much slower game, not have like a fast Cascade draw. So he bolts my plant token, which is kind of questionable. I think this was a game my opponent just didn't really do much, so it's probably not a good game to go off of. But basically, Pyromancer, kills my Pyromancer. I mean, I'm winning this game without doing any kind of combo stuff, which is a very good sign. Anytime you're like out card advantaging someone, and you're like just doing random stuff, you're gonna win the game easily. Again, reminds me of Marvel deck, which you basically just play lots of good card advantage. And you could win games easily without even comboing if you got like a Tireless Tracker in play or a Chandra into play. And I think this deck is similar. You can win off an Omnath or a Karn or a Fury. Or even a Wave Sifter is like a bad Mull Drifter. If your opponent's not pressuring you, really, you're not forced to combo. So here, yeah, I don't even have to do anything. I think he just scoops to this. Yeah, he just scoops to the Omnath. I didn't even have to really go for the combo. And I think that's a good lesson for anyone playing this deck, is to know, when to play it slow and when to push things to the limit, and it's basically okay. And he just conceded. He didn't actually do anything. All right. Let's look at the games I lost. Actually, I think this was a pretty epic game. I mulled a 4 and I almost won, I think. Okay. So I mulled a 4, my opponent mulls to 5, I think. I think I mulliganed a bit too aggressively now that I've played this deck more. So I keep a hand of Wave Sifter, Omnath, 2 lands. My plan is to evoke the Wave Sifter, draw some cards off the clues, and try to get an Omnath into play. My opponent mulliganed to 5, but he's on the draw, so I'm in like horrible shape basically, right off the get-go. And I drew a complete blank. So here I just really need to draw land. So crack a clue, and I do draw land, fortunately. My opponent plays this, so he's on Rhinos. Draw a glimpse. I actually I think here I'm hoping to draw a land and just hardcast this Wave Sifter. Opponent's draw is not good. He hasn't done anything yet, really. So he iced my land, so I can't do anything. Uses the Bone Crusher on me. I draw a Fury, I still can't do anything. I think I'm just trying to draw a land so I can cast some of these spells. Okay, I draw a Violent Outburst. Opponent hard cast this Brazen Bar. I can kill it with Fury though. So I Fury, and then before Fury gets sacrificed, I play Violent Outburst. See if he has a counter spell for this. Glimpse. And I hit like all creatures and no lands, so it's kind of awkward. So I've got 4 clues now. And a ton of creatures. Plays a Brazen Borrower. Plays a Fury. Kills my flyers. Attacks me down to 8. So we've got a game here. Somehow he hasn't played any Rhinos yet. I can Fury both his creatures. And it actually looks like I might be winning here. So he's at 9, I'm at 8. But I believe he finally draws some Rhinos. I want to crack some of these clues for sure. Okay, now we've got Violent Outburst, but I think he's going to play Rhino. No, no Rhinos still. He attacks, I chump. Now he's got Rhinos. And the reason I chumped there instead of trading is because I plan on cascading, so I just want to have as many permanents in play as possible and not have a super low life total. So, here's the moment of truth. Does this Violent Outburst resolve? If it does, I almost certainly win. Oh, but I ran. I ran out of glimpses because I drew them all. Yeah. I exiled one of them, I think, to like a Fury. Maybe discarded one to Pyromancer and drew my other one. So I actually never got to glimpse this. Or no, I did glimpse once. But I wasn't able to glimpse a second time. So, yeah, I think this deck may actually want to play 4 of these. Because it's so easy to, like, exile to Fury, discard it to Seasoned Pyromancer. I wouldn't be surprised if the deck starts playing 4 of these, because that was pretty awkward. I would have won this game for sure if I had it. So, that's how I lost that game. Let's see what happened in game 2. I think I just got crushed by Rhinos. I'm not sure if this is a good matchup. It feels like what I'm doing is way more powerful, but if they can, like, mess with me with stuff like Fire Ice and Force Negation, like that Fire Ice just totally screwed me. I need to get more permanents into play because I can't Violent Outburst with just 3 permanents. But it's going to be hard to deal with these rhinos, for sure. Blood Moon, Fury, and I'm pretty screwed. I can go for the Hail Mary here. Fury, one of his rhinos, and then play a Glimpse, but he's got the Force of Negation. GG. I don't think I would have won even if this Glimpse resolved because I only had 4 permanents, but okay, so that was that round. Let's look at this round. So I've got 2 Chancellors. It's actually pretty powerful. It's like having a Goblin Guide kind of. So I attack him with my Pseudo Goblin Guide. Do it again. I think he's on Death Shadow? Grixis Death Shadow? So he plays Dress Down, so my Seasoned Pyromancer doesn't have a come into play ability. Plays Death Shadow. Oh, and I suspended a Glimpse on turn 2. So it's about to go off. So discard my Chancellors, the Seasoned Pyromancer. So I think he made a mistake by not taking 2 more damage from his Water Grave, because now his Death Shadows are only 4/4s. But I think it actually may be a good matchup against Death Shadow. So he counters that, but now I can just Fury both of his creatures. Cast 1 Fury, kill that. Cast the other Fury, kill that. Okay, I think that's it for now. I think I showed enough games, but it basically shows you how the deck works. So you can see, like, even in this game, I never even played a Cascade spell, and I still was able to, like, outcard advantage Death Shadow. I mean, they didn't have a great draw or anything, but just shows you kind of like what the deck can do. Again, I think it's kind of like a mid-range combo deck, so sometimes you combo, sometimes you kind of like grind them out with card advantage in a mid-range type style game. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys think this deck's pretty cool and maybe think about playing it yourselves, and hope to see you guys in the next video.